Hi, dearest ones. Welcome to our project on resilient souls this month. Unfortunately, the video quality when I interviewed Cathy wasn't the greatest, but hopefully you can hear the audio. If you have any questions, please write them below and either she or I can answer them. And I hope you enjoy this month's project.
Hi, dearest ones. I am so happy to be with you for our November project with Cathy, who I'm so excited that she's been doing the Resilient Souls project, and she's here with us to tell us a little bit more. So welcome, Cathy. Thanks for joining us. And I was just wondering if you could start by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm a photographer and a clinical social worker. I've been using photography with teens, girls, adults, women for 25 years probably in various recreational and therapeutic projects.
Great.
Do a lot of workshops involving photography, writing, collage.
Great. We're so happy that you joined HeART and that you're sharing. I'm wondering, what inspired you to create the Resilient Souls project?
Well, I was working with some at-risk teenagers in the early 90s, and I was floored by how many problems they were having at such an early age. You know, we have self-injury, we've got, eating disorders, we've had significant depression. I wanted to have them share with other teenagers and other people how they were able to come out of their problems that were overcoming them. So I started with a few students I knew, and then from there I started thinking, well, what issues would I do? First I started working with social service agencies. I'm based in St. Louis, Missouri in the U.S., but then I moved to different other cities out on the West Coast to try to get a little bit geographically diverse. And I also work with some university students from all around the country.
Oh, wow. Amazing. And I've had a little look at your project, and I've seen the video, and I was wondering what it was like to go back 20 years after you'd photographed some of the women.
It was awesome. It was first of all, every time I found one of them through social media or however I found them, that was so exciting to use my private investigating skills to find somebody and reconnect. So that was thrilling. But then when it was face to face, it was like seeing a long lost relative. Even though there's a couple of the students I had a relationship with, but besides that, I've met the people. For some of them, when I was traveling, only one time for a few hours 20 years ago. But I've sat with their stories for all these years. The exhibition, the original exhibition was called Resilient Souls, Young Women's Portraits and Words. So, that display started in 1996, and from 1996 to 2000, it traveled. So I was their stories were with me, their photographs were with me, and then I packed it all up very nicely, and it sat in a closet in my house for the next 16 to 18 years.
Right.
And so I still felt a connection to this. And so when I actually face-to-face saw them, it just felt like somebody that I knew so well, because they share very personal things, and you have to remember, 20 years ago, there was no social media, and so some of their stories, their personal stories, that was not typical for people to be sharing.
And could you tell me a little bit about what you've learned from this project?
Well, I think it's a good kind of lesson on time, on what time does and how we grow, and sometimes also very much stay the same. So I would say I've learned that we all, what I already knew probably in some ways, that we all kind of have, activity and a lot of obstacles in our life, and it's not fair, right? For some people, there's one young woman in the exhibition, she kind of had a hard start, and then, she, during her pregnancy, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So, she's had more than her fair share, and it isn't fair. But yet, at an early age, she went through some things, so she does have some resources through what she's dealing with. So, also just kind of verifies the human spirit, that we're all resilient, we can all push on, and get through what we need to get through.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a very powerful project. Like, when I've looked through it, I've been very, very inspired, and I'm so happy that we're focusing on it for November, and I can't wait to see what happens. And I'm just wondering if you have any guidelines for people, like how do they start? How can they go about it, doing it themselves?
Okay, so let me just explain a little bit. So the actual project, right, I originally started with 29 women. There are going to be 20 represented in the exhibition, and they'll eventually be on my page. The Facebook is Resilient Souls. Make sure there's an S at the end. Yep. But as far as the public, I've asked at the exhibition at the end, there'll be a backdrop, and people can take their photograph if they would like. They could send a photograph and post with their story of their own resilience onto all they should be able to post directly to my page, but if not, they can email to resilientsoulsproject@gmail.com. But I think with this added piece of using any art medium, I love that, so it doesn't have to be your photo if you want to. I mean, if you're posting on Facebook anyway, your photograph's there, typically on your profile, but they can use any piece of art to represent their overcoming whatever they feel that they've overcome. And then, it would be nice to brief, if not a longer story, about kind of explaining it with words as well. So the viewer can understand their struggle and how they were able to get through it. And I think, as you and I both know, art is a healing way to get through things for a lot of people. Absolutely. Whatever their medium is, One of the women actually wrote a play about her adolescence and her life. And she said, it's a comedy, even though it was a very tragic life in many, as she calls it. There's artists in the exhibit. I think probably they were drawn to the project. It seems like there's a lot of artist writers in this exhibition, and so that makes sense in a way, because those are people who are willing to express and want to express. So whatever, I'm thrilled to have anybody share, as long as it's in the spirit of the project. Yep, absolutely. And from what I've seen in the group, I believe it would be great. And I can't wait to see what they come up with.
Yeah, I'm very excited, and I think my invitation to people is to post it within the group, and then if they feel they want to take it out, post it on your page as well. And we'll have all of the links so that people can feel that they can post where they want to.
Sure, absolutely. I think that's a great idea. Right, because within the group, there's still the privacy and the,
Exactly.
In a very safe place.
Yeah. Okay, great. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, thank you for your interest. Just be resilient. What can I say? Express yourself, and we're all resilient. We all have it in us, and we all go through tough times. And I think art, writing, these are ways that help many of us heal.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Cathy.
Thank you.